Hey guys, welcome. Yes, it is a live package opening today. Yes, we are doing a live package opening. It's hard to believe that we're doing that, but we are. But yes, it is a live package opening. Courtesy of Amazon.com. Just got this package in the mail today, and it's what I hope. And if it's what I think it is, I'm going to be excited to have it, and especially if it lives up to what a lot of videos that have talked about it advertise it to do. Then that'll be even better. But yeah, package opening time, guys. And again, if it's what I think it is, like I said, it's going to be worth what I spent. But yeah, so basically, as I set things up here, like I said, as I set things up here for a second. And put in the live stream. And now link this again. I can do that. Hold on. To hold on for a sec, guys. Maybe not. But yeah, just gonna link this for a second, guys. Hold on for a sec. Here we go. I'm gonna go to Facebook here now. That's pretty cool. Right. Hold on. Give it time to kind of, I guess some people would say cleanse itself, which I don't think we have anything to worry about. And now you wash my hands, if you know what I mean, when it comes to what people say about packages, especially during this pandemic. So, yeah. Hold on. A sec. Yeah, I think I got on those. I want to see it and kind of check it out, if you will. But yes, we are, like I said, we are live with this package opening today. Hey, basically, I ordered this back on I think this past Friday. If you will. And I've been hearing some things about it. I honestly have seen a review of it on several occasions, even before I was considering it. And the one thing that always went through my mind, and I've talked about this recently in some videos, is would it be capable of doing what I think it's going to do if one of the things it advertises is having a certain slot in the back to add more additional content. And the more videos I watched, excuse me, and even hearing hearing many positive customer reviews, at Amazon and places, the more I started to realize, this might be what I'm looking for, because you can go one route, but it would cost you a lot more. But if you go this route, it's a lot less, and that's why. And if you go back and watch a video I did a couple of days ago, where I talked about this. I think I did it back on the 7th, or I uploaded it on the 7th. When I talked about this, it makes you wonder if one knew what they were doing over the other. So, anyway, though, with that said, here is the package. If you will, here is the package right here. It just came about a few moments ago. It came about, I would say, about almost 15-20 minutes ago. I would assume. Let me check the status. Hold on. It was originally supposed to come tomorrow. Yeah, the expected date was tomorrow. And let's see. It should show me the time it came. Get the update. Okay, so it came about 22 minutes ago, according to this. It was updated as coming 22 minutes ago. So anyway, I'm going to get the Turbo MIDI in here too. Okay. But anyway, like I said, it came about 20 minutes ago, about a little over 20 minutes ago. And like I said, if it's what I think it is and what people have been advertising and able to do and what it has, I cannot wait to hook this up and play it. So without further ado, let's see exactly what it is and if it's what I think it is. But yeah, it was supposed to come tomorrow, but you know how that is. When you order something through Amazon Prime or any service like them, and they already basically recorded your purchase and all that, or registered your purchase, then all of a sudden they start getting the ball rolling. Some places do, some places don't, but all of a sudden they start to get the ball rolling. Again, the one thing that still kind of surprises me is when I ended up getting this. This was one of the first things I got, but instead I got another. I ended up getting the the Evergreen Nights vinyl record first, and I got that. That was like the last thing I got in a separate order. I ended up getting that first, and I had to wait to have the money for this to finally, go through to get it. So, but like I said, when you have the money and it goes through, just like that, they go right to work, and that's what they did here. So let's see what it is, shall we? Gonna open this up. Open. And okay. Okay, this is what I was hoping for, looking for this. Because the one person I was watching did a review saying you'll have to look for this. And thankfully I did. And what is it I got? How about the Super Retro Cade, the Ultimate Home Arcade? And basically, what this is it's a Retrobit's answer to the NES, SNES, and I'm guessing Genesis minis. And this has over 90 plus games in there now. That impacted over 90 games. But as some people have said, you're able to do because it has an SD slot, you can actually put more games. Now, I don't know if you have to unzip the zip file to do that. I don't know. And hello, David. Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for watching me. And David Whited Arcade and Toy Channel. Well, check him out here on YouTube. But yeah, I got this. And like I said, and David, if you know anything of this, if what people are saying is true, you can add more games via SD card. The only thing that kind of throws me off a little bit is whether or not you can, or whether or not you have to utilize the zip card or the zip file, or you have to get the files out of the zip file. Because I was watching. Let me see if I can find my history here on YouTube. I was watching. I think it was named Joe Biggs or Joe Riggs, and when he was showing that you could do this, he basically took the zip files, put them into the Retrobits folder, and went from there. So yeah, that's how he was able to do it. Again, I'm not sure if you're capable of doing that or not. I've seen others basically take the files that would be in the folder and just do it like that too. So I don't really know, but I'm gonna try and see what happens. Let me see if I can find him on here. Let's see, Chit Chat Gaming's talking about it. Has talked about it. Let's see. There's a lot of videos here. So, RGT83 has talked about it. I think he even acknowledged it, but he gave a reference to his friend, to his colleague. See if I can find him here. Oh, Radical Reggie has talked about it. I think he's probably mentioned this. Rolex Productions has talked about it. Mad Little Pixel has talked about it. Okay, John Riggs, that's his name. John Riggs has talked about it. And John basically apparently put just the zip files in the folder, and then that was it. But yeah, overall, it's gotten positive reviews. Everybody likes it. I think IGN, when it first came out a couple years ago, gave it positive reviews, and that was the version 1.0. But this version, this is what who was it? Let me look again. Who was it? It was Roxolid Productions. That's ROXOLID Productions. Basically said that this is what you want to look for, and that right here, this is what you want to look for. I don't know if you guys can really see that. You want to look for version 1.1 on the back, because that's the newest version that they released. That's the newest version. Thank you, David. Really appreciate it. Commenting on my collection, but this is the latest version they say you want to look for, because this allows you to add more games than initially thought of, and it adds a few more games as well. But yeah, overall it's pretty good. Open it up. It's got a nice little flap there. Really nice. And you stick it back in. It's pretty cool. And then of course this is the this is what the selling point is right here, this part. And you get the HDMI and AV optional if you just want to go to CRT or regular old school televisions to get that original feel. I'm glad they did that because there are people that will probably just utilize this on an older television because it gives them that old school feel. But there are some that figure, hey, but there are some that are like, hey, I'm just going to plug it up to my HDMI system and that's it. But again, the selling point basically, the selling point really is this right here, and that is the SD slot. Now, the way Retrobit mentions and talks about it is it's supposed to help you save and transfer your games. And when I talked about this in the video where I asked a couple of days ago, where I asked whether or not Retrobit knew what they were doing when they released this system, around the same time Arcade1Up was entering the business with their cabinets, I asked, whether or not they knew what they were doing, and pretty much I stick by what I said. I think they did know what they were doing. They did know what they were doing. They kind of they kind of basically said, look, we know what we're doing. We know basically what I'm trying to get at. Let me get some Coke here, Coca-Cola, that is. But basically, they said, look, we know what we're doing. To me, they probably realized, as I said in the video, they probably knew what they were doing, realized, you know what, we can have the same games on here that Arcade1Up's going to have on those cabinets, but we can also give more. We can also give more opportunity. And as I said, I think what they did in code was say, hey, you want more games? We say transfer, but we're really meaning you can add. And I think that's what the code, I think that was kind of like their own little code word, their own little, I guess you could say secret password to say, hey, you can add more games. So I'm glad that they gave us that feature. And now some of you may say, oh, well, they didn't intend to give that feature, Brian. They probably meant otherwise, and everything. Okay, fine. Maybe they meant otherwise, but how can you basically mean otherwise when pretty much everybody that's talked about this, everybody that's pretty much done reviews on this, has done live streams with this? How can you say that they didn't know what they were doing when pretty much everybody that's talked about this has called them out and even acknowledged them for doing a great job and adding that unexpected surprise? I think they did. I think, again, as I stand by what I said, I think they knew what they were doing. You can come out and say, oh, well, they didn't mean for that to happen. Oh, they did. They knew. They knew that. They knew what they were doing. Okay, guys. They knew exactly what they were doing. They're not going to come out and say they didn't. They knew. They knew. They knew what they were doing. They're not. I mean, it's okay. You can say they didn't know. They didn't know. They didn't expect good. Okay. I'll put it this way. You can say they didn't realize what they did until it was too late, and they're going to try to fix it, right? Well, with the 1.1, they had a chance to do that, but apparently, from what I understand, they didn't. People could still add games, if not more so. So, again, I'm the full belief that I think they knew what they were doing. I'm of the full belief they knew what they were doing. You could sit here and disagree, and that's fine. And maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't know what they did, but I think they did. Because when you're going up, even if you're on the other side of the video game market, you're still competing with other people. Especially if you're trying to make a name for yourself in the nostalgic portion of the video game business and appealing to the nostalgic fan base. You need to do you realize you need to do something. What I'm trying to say is you realize you need to do something to get people to buy your system or go to your side more so than go into the other competition. So you got to do things that normally you wouldn't do. And I think by adding this in, they knew exactly what they were doing. And again, you can say I'm wrong. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I think they honestly, guys, I think they knew what they were doing. I really do. I think they honestly knew what they were doing. Whether anybody wants to agree with that or not, I think they honestly knew what they were doing because because here's the thing with a new version, or even if I'll put it this way, even with the first version, if they started hearing that people are using SD cards to add more ROMs to the game, more games to the system than what's intended, instead of saving or using it as it originally intended, to save and all that, RetroBits would have pulled it off the shelf. They would have pulled it off the online shelf. They would have pulled it off any of the physical shelves it was being sold on and said, no, we got to fix something. And they would have took that feature out. They would have made sure that when you put an SD card in here, that you would not be able to add ROMs. They would have done that, but they didn't because they know they are competing not just against Nintendo and Sega, but also against Arcade1Up and others. They know they're competing with them, and they need to do whatever it takes to succeed. And if that means giving people the opportunity to easily not only save money and get the same kind of games you're getting with the Arcade1Up and the NES and SNES Classic and all that, but they also realize that, what I'm trying to say is they realize that if they're going to compete successfully against all of those, Nintendo and Sega and Arcade1Up with their classic stuff, that they need to have an advantage. And that advantage obviously they need to have like a secret weapon or secret advantage. And that secret weapon or advantage is doing this. So in my opinion, I think they knew what they were doing. I really do. It's my opinion, but I think they did. I think they knew what they were doing. Again, I think honestly they knew what they were doing, but they're not going to come out and say they know what they were doing. They're not going to come out and admit it, because if they do that, then like I said, what they would have had to do is take this, what we call this, basically, and say, okay, basically what they've had to do is they would have to take this, like I said earlier, if they didn't know what was going on and then they started hearing about it and they weren't for it, they would have recalled this. They would have taken it off the shelves, fixed it up, made sure that didn't happen, but they didn't. And I'm sure everybody, including myself, hopefully, are glad that they didn't do that. So anyway, though, guys, yeah, I got the Arcade1Up. I'm glad to have it. I might do a live stream in a moment, a little bit, to show that I'm hooking it up and everything. You're drinking Dr. Pepper, I'm drinking Coke, man. That's pretty cool. But anyway, I'll be back, guys, probably with another live stream to kind of showcase hooking this up and hopefully show live exactly whether or not this can play the games on an SD card, off an SD card, as people are saying it could. And whether or not you got to unzip them or you could just use the zip files. I'm gonna have to see exactly what the direction will be. But again, just let you guys see what I got here. And let me know what you guys all think down below. Comment if you like. Chris Bores, Irate Gamer, Pat Contra. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are if you ever get a chance. Andre Meadows. Let me know any of you guys that I follow. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Retrocade if you ever get an opportunity to do so. Because I'm thinking this is something like with James Wolfe of the Cinemassacre, Pat Contra of the Pat the NES Punk. I think this kind of falls around your alley as something maybe you could talk about. So anyway, though, guys, just thought I'd come on here, do this live package opening of the Super Retrocade from RetroBits. I'll be back later on to probably do a live hookup. And until then, guys, stay cool, stay safe. I am out.